Muiden, the Netherlands. A castle standing on water, seemingly straight out of an old fairy tale. But within its walls lies a gruesome, unsolved mystery. In the 17th century, the castle was home to a noble family that one day simply disappeared. They were there one day and gone the next. Police conducted a search but found nothing. No note, no signs of a struggle, nothing. Locals said a ghost from the castle took them. Others believed the family simply fled, leaving everything behind to start a new life. But no one believed that such an influential family could just vanish. The case was closed, and the castle became a tourist attraction. But the mystery remained. Centuries later, a young historian, while researching the castle, stumbled upon an old, tattered diary that may have belonged to one of the daughters. The diary contained not only entries about life in the castle, but also unsettling hints that something sinister was afoot. And most importantly, it held a key to a room no one could open, and to a truth that had been buried within the castle's walls for 400 years. The diary belonged to the youngest daughter who lived in the castle. She described not only balls and receptions, but also strange, frightening things. She wrote of a shadow that followed her father, and strange voices coming from the walls. Her entries became more and more unsettling until they abruptly stopped. The last entry was, "He found us. He knows that we know." The young historian, whose name was Ben, realized that the daughter's entries weren't fiction. Her father was an alchemist. He was searching for a way to create gold from ordinary metals, and he found it. Ben realized that the shadow the girl wrote about wasn't a ghost. It was his partner, who was looking for the formula. Ben only had one thing left to find: the room that was locked, but the key to which, according to the girl, was hidden in her diary. He found it, skillfully sewn into the leather cover. It was a tiny, ancient key that no one could find. He also found the room. The door was locked, and no one had been able to open it for centuries. Ben realized he was the only one who could solve this mystery. He opened the door and went inside. There were no bodies, but there was a laboratory. And there was the final note that the father left for him, explaining that they were killed by his partner, who stole the formula. But Ben couldn't find him. Ben thought he knew the whole truth. He believed the family was killed by the alchemist's partner, but he was wrong. He took the diary and the last note that the father left for him and began to reread them. He realized that everything he had read was a lie. He carefully read the daughter's diary and realized that the shadow didn't follow her father. The shadow followed the daughter, and it wasn't a shadow, but a person who was in love with her, but who, as it turned out, was a serial killer. And this killer was the son of the alchemist, who was his father's partner. He killed her and her family, and his father simply covered for him to hide the truth. Ben realized that the family wasn't killed for the formula. They were killed for love and revenge. The alchemist's partner, upon learning that his son had killed the family, came to the castle and helped him hide the bodies, creating the legend of the curse. As a result, the bodies were never found, and the castle's mystery became known to the world.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.